Record.
Recording in progress.
Okay, good evening. We have a quorum at 6:30. We'll call the planning board meeting to order. And first up for general information, I believe, is Paul Zarodnik. Is that right, Bill?
Yes.
Want to tell us what you want to do, Paul?
Basically, I'm just relocating the sign on front of my front office building, moving it back basically 10 feet back from its original location, so they can put in the sidewalk for the new road construction. So basically, I'm just picking it up, the existing sign, and moving it back 10 feet towards the sidewalk and towards the house, so they can put in the sidewalk. And I sent you folks some drawings and schematics and photos and that sort of thing. Did you get all those?
Yes. What's the address?
It's at 245 Russell Street.
45, okay.
So that's basically it. It's just I'm picking up the existing sign and moving it back 10 feet. And I've got to remove the masonry block wall that surrounds it. And then once the construction is final and they're done with the final grading, I'll see, I may be able to put some of it back, probably a little smaller, and then replant some of the shrubs that I'm going to have to take out. So that's basically all it is. It's just moving the sign back 10 feet. An existing sign, the one that's there, is going to basically stay there. It's just getting moved a little closer to the sidewalk.
I think we'll all see in the drawings. Anybody have any questions on that?
No, actually, I came out of that driveway the other day, and it's probably going to be a better location because you'll have more of a sight line.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be good to have a sidewalk out front too.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the relocation.
Second.
Motion a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Mark is not here, so it'll be 4-0 with one absent.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'll get an email out to the building inspector on that, so you can apply for the sign relocation whenever it's convenient for you.
Great.
But he's also listening, so he knows we've approved it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, gentlemen. You have a good evening.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Who's up next, Mr. Dwyer?
I'm just going to make a note that Mark has arrived.
Okay.
Next up is Randy Iser.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I'm here on behalf of Lisa Sanderson, Aegis Physical Therapy, 241 Russell Street. Quite some time ago, I don't know, 9 months, a year ago, whatever, I came before you with a plan of proposed parking relocation in the front of her building. And the board didn't have any issues with it. She took that plan to the state to request a second curb cut, which she has been approved for. And now she wants to know what, if anything, she needs to do as far as the Hadley Planning Board is concerned in order for her to move forward and actually build this parking area. Because I think she told me she's got till the end of the year to deal with her curb cuts from the state. And I sent you a plan, which I'm assuming Bill could share if anybody has any questions at this point in time.
Yeah, let me see what I can.
So that's a in only on the west and out on the east?
So that is, yeah, that's how it's going to have to work, Mark, because of the way the angled parking going to be in on the west, out on the east.
Okay.
So those will be one way in, one way out, Randy?
It's gonna have to be, Jimmy, because of the way that parking is.
Oh, yeah,
It-
okay, yeah, they're angled.
It'll be a
in.
mess if you try to do it any other way.
Okay,
We're not addressing the sign with this. We're just trying to expedite the curb cuts.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm sure at some point she'll be back with her sign movement. I don't know where she's gonna want to put it, but whatever. We'll deal with that when the time comes.
so she's still gonna get to the back of the building, parking around the west side of the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So I'm not seeing a second curb cut here. Oh,
You have to
I
turn it-
see.
yeah.
The very faint green.
In
Gotcha.
Yeah.
the green, right?
yeah, the green
Yes.
is the green is the new east one, right? That's the new one. The
Correct.
existing one is the one purple on the west side?
Yeah,
Okay,
So the light blue dashed and the light blue crosshatched, what are,
so the crosshatched is the area that the state is taking
that's the taking, yeah.
for the widening, and the dashed is they've got an easement area it's gonna be I'm sure it's a temporary construction easement that usually they're good for 5 years. And then once they're done building, the easement goes away, but it's there for the time being.
I was gonna say, so the easement area is only a temporary taking, where it said easement area?
I believe so, Jimmy. I'm not positive, but that's
I was gonna
usually
say,
what
'cause,
they
boy, that's
do.
awfully tight from the back of the parking spaces to the little drive there. There's not much room.
Yeah. No, there's it goes inside that easement area. I mean, that's just, again, it's a construction easement. It's,
Okay.
they'll be able to utilize it.
Okay,
Can you angle those spaces more to give them an easier back out? Because looks like you've got a fairly narrow lane.
But that's what Jimmy just said, Mark,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm trying to see what do I have? I can't even tell. Now it got taken away from me.
Okay, well, I was going to go down to the scale. So you could,
Oh, no, I'm just trying to see the colors. All right, so I believe when I set this stuff up, I make sure that the parking spaces are 18 feet, and I tried to make sure that there was enough room to maneuver, but I mean, I can certainly angle them a little bit more if that would make you guys feel better.
so it's not a matter of me making feel better, it's a matter of what is the right thing to do. I mean, if that's the way she wants to do it, I mean, she's
Right.
just be limiting herself, that's all.
Yeah,
I mean, you could always put them in the way they are, and they find out they're wrong, and just restripe them too.
yeah, right.
Right. Or they just back out onto the grass to
Well,
make their,
yeah, I don't think I mean, they'll make it so that it's doable. And like I said, I try really hard to make sure there's enough space to back out when I do this parking stuff. I realize that you got to have room to move. So,
I mean, do we need anything else besides this?
I would maybe just do a motion to waive further site plan approval.
What's the address, Randy?
241 Russell.
241. Do we also want to approve waiving the 50-foot front yard parking here? Do we need to?
Yes, you do.
I think that's a hardship from the state, so.
Oh, yeah, I mean, she used to be pretty much compliant.
Yeah, the state's done a lot of good things for a lot of people on the road.
Okay, so to waive further site plan approval for the driveway, front yard parking and waiving the 50-foot front yard setback for parking.
Okay. That's the motion. Do we have a second?
Second,
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, gentlemen. And just as a heads up, at your next meeting, I will be bringing forth an A&R plan on North Maple Street, the corner of North Maple and Stockbridge. It's part of the old Kelly Farm. There's about a 30-acre parcel that is currently in APR, and Johnny Kelly is going to keep 5 acres and sell 25 acres to the Divine Brothers. So I will need to bring a plan before you guys showing that division.
Okay.
Well, that's what, did you just stake it?
Yes. Because they told me that the APR will not appraise anything until they can see it now. So we had to go out and make it pretty.
Okay.
And that's all I have for this evening.
Randy, if you can remember the plan that was up, Lisa Sanderson's plan, were all of those bollards existing?
If I showed bollards, yes.
I know she has them on the south side. The
Yeah,
west
what-
side makes it look like it's tight to go in and out at the same time, but
Okay, well, anything, the bollards were there,
okay.
okay?
Next up, Mr. Dwyer.
Michael, Spirit of Halloween.
That would be me. I'm looking for permission to hang 2 temporary banners on 335 Russell Street until November 3rd. I think they're a little bit bigger than you guys normally allow, but we're only going to be there 40 days about. And we're
How many
hidden kind of behind Walmart, so I was hoping
How
you
many
guys.
banners did you say?
Sorry,
How many banners?
just 2.
Oh, 2.
One is 3 by 10 and the other one's 3 by 30, I think.
3 by 30 feet?
Yes. I believe so. It could be 3 by 20 now that I think about it. 3 by 20 sounds more like it.
Didn't we
Yeah,
have a
one-
graphic of this?
I sent some to Dee Dee. I don't know if she ever passed it along though.
It's
Kinda
on the
new to
back
this.
of the building, right?
Yeah, it's on the back of the Walmart there.
Let's see, what email would it have come from?
SPDIST 23461@spearhalloween.com.
Okay. Yeah, I did send this around. External. Yeah, it did come on a forward from Dee Dee. Yeah, it's a 3 by 30 banner and okay, let me just open what I've got here. And one more. Although actually, these are all the tech sheets for the banner. You have them superimposed on a.
Yeah, I
An
sent them
image.
separately. It was a little bit later.
It's like Dee Dee sent it all to me as one package, so let me see what I can do here.
How many days did you say? 30?
More like 45 at this point.
40, 45.
Well, I'm not successfully pulling down the photos. Let me see if I can do that a different way. They are kind of helpful too. Let's see if I can do it this way. So that's your smaller one.
So that's 90 square feet.
That's the 3x10. That's
Yeah.
the smaller one.
Okay, the other one was a 3x30. You showed that one.
That's the 3x30.
That's what we saw. And the other one would be just off the left side of that photo, is that right?
The right side, yeah.
This is basically where Planet Fitness was, behind Walmart.
No roadside signs?
No,
No, that, ideally, I mean, they're obviously exceeding the amount of square footage allowed, and it's a temporary sign. And you'd like to
And
give
no
them
roadside, I mean, if it was a
It's
permit, if it was,
built area to see, but nevertheless, it's almost sounds like a zoning board of appeals decision, and you don't want them to go through that.
By the time they get through the ZBA, the season's gone.
Yes,
yeah.
So 3x10, 30 square feet, the maximum for a multi-tenant building is 40 square feet, so you're fine on that one.
yes.
So the question is whether the 3x30,
I don't have any problem with it. It's not permanent.
Well, it's not permanent, but Mike, we have the rules and regulations that we
Well,
generally,
you know, we can go
Well,
around town. We can go
it's-
around town.
but if, that's why they call it a zoning board of appeals, it's to appeal the bylaws. So I don't know if whimsically, I agree with you that it's certainly he's got to get some attention to it because it's in the back of the mall, but I don't have any problem with trying to give it to him, but I don't think we should go down that road from a legal point of view, but maybe Bill can square me
Well,
away.
you know,
What was the business that we let them put up bigger signs for hiring? And it was on a fixed time period.
Domino's.
That was Domino's?
Yeah,
Yeah, certainly that was COVID related, and we did have some guidance from the state regarding COVID related zoning regulations. I don't recall exactly what they were, so.
what's your comment on this, Bill?
you know, I'm a little torn on it. It is temporary. It is excessive, but and certainly I have no problem with the 3x10.
Right,
Maybe if you could, you know, your 3x30 basically says the same thing twice. If you
that
could,
is true.
if you could say it in half the space, I could be comfortable with that. And to your comment, Mike, sure, there are lots of non-conforming signs around, but bear in mind that that's part of the
Yeah.
reason why we amended the sign bylaw, because it was
Right.
looking like such a mess out there. And it
Yeah.
doesn't feel fair to people to come
Yeah.
in and say, well, why can't I have the same
Yeah,
sign
I-
guy next door
You
has,
know,
but
if you hadn't come here and asked us and put them up, nobody would have known the better.
Oh,
Okay,
yes, they
that's
would.
kind of how it is.
Yes, they would. We have a building inspector who does this job.
Do you go around, look at the back of Walmart, Tom?
I actually, when he put the permit in for him, I questioned it because I knew it was above. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't want to change the subject, but while Mike is on there, I should bring up that you give them permission for those containers, because those are, how long those containers are back there, and I believe those are for the Halloween, spirit of Halloween as well, correct?
The trash containers? Yeah, I think
Nope.
2 of them.
The two
Storage
storage,
containers.
the pods.
Oh, yeah, those are gone. Those are gone.
But in the future, just while we're on here, after this discussion, maybe
I
run
got
it by the board, please.
Sure.
Can
Yeah,
we,
I would be okay with 2 signs if one of them was no more than 3 by 15.
Okay.
Do we run the danger of setting a precedent and having others say, well, you did it for,
well, you're allowed multiple signs.
right,
If they want to do it, if they really want it for 6 weeks, I don't think we really set precedents, but if we do set a precedent, it is for only for a temporary sign. So
At the
I'm
at the
sure-
first at the
I'm sure
first
our
planning
friends at
board meeting.
Chase,
Oops, I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm sure our friends at Chase are going to be asking for a temporary grand opening sign when they finally get through this.
But of course, it's gonna be cantilevered over Route 9, so they have more visibility.
At the first planning board meeting I was at, Jim chastised me in no uncertain terms, telling me that we don't set precedents here.
Well, when you become the chairman, Mike, you can make the rules.
Yeah, well, he told me.
That's,
And you listened very well, right?
Well, I remember when I'm reprimanded.
we remember when you're reprimanded too.
Yeah.
So are you comfortable with putting up half of one sign, even if you just fold it over, that'd probably be fine.
Absolutely.
okay, so we have two banners, one 3 by 10, one 3 by 15. Is that the take we have, Mr. Dwyer?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve 2 temporary signs, 3 by 10 and 3 by 15.
Sounds reasonable. We have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion second? Any other discussion? All in
Do we
favor?
need to
Aye.
set the dates or just say it's 45 days or?
Well, he's gonna be gone by Halloween, so whether it's 40, 45 days, I mean, he's not gonna get much business after Halloween, that's for sure, even if he's there.
November 3rd is our final day.
Okay,
Okay, through November 3rd.
okay, that's the motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
You're all set. Good. Is anybody else for general information, Bill?
Next in was Tom Corbett, and I think you're just interested in whether we're going to talk about battery storage, and I don't think we are planning to talk about that tonight.
Okay, thank you.
And probably, unfortunately, it's not going to get onto the fall town meeting warrant because we need to have a longer conversation that we haven't reached a consensus at
Understood.
this point. The next one in was Luke Beeson.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi. I'm here representing the Kestrel Land Trust. I sent in a photo of a roadside sign we're hoping to install along one of our conservation areas that we're hoping to encourage more public access to on River Road. It's right across from the Porter Phelps Museum.
River Drive.
Yeah, River Drive.
When did that go out, Mr. Dwyer?
Oh, it's probably close to a month and a half ago at this point. So let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, sorry, I've been a little caught up with work and traveling.
Would you have sent it from your email?
Yes, it's luke@kestreltrust.org.
Okay.
And I have all the dimensions and everything in that email, and I have them pulled up. But the photo just gives you a sense of what it's a 6x6 posts with a cantilevered framed sign hanging down from it.
Okay. All right. And there we have it. And that was from August 4th.
Yes, that mallet kind of gives you a sense of scale. The post that it's all on is 16 foot. It'll be set 4 foot into the ground, back into the field, but still visible from the road. It's double-sided. I think I have the dimensions there. It's pulled up really quick. The sign itself is 30 by 42, and that smaller sign beneath it goes at 9 by 30.
Whose property is it actually on? Will it be on?
It is on property owned by the land trust.
Is that Dorothy Sessions' old property?
I do not know offhand.
No.
Do you know what the address is?
It's 131 River
River
Drive.
Drive.
It's right across from 130. I believe that's what it's listed at.
Look, is this directions to as you walk down to the river, or is on, so that would be the west side, or is it gonna be on the east side where people always park?
It'll be on
in
the east. It'll be on the east side, and we're planning on affixing a sign to it.
So
like to the post.
how much land do you own? You don't own all that land.
We own the field and a plot of forest land up east of it as well.
You don't own the field.
The Porter Phelps Museum has an inholding in it, but that field is owned by the land trust and rented out to a farmer.
That whole field?
The one
Where
on
the corn was?
where there's no corn there this year. That's owned by Porter Phelps. This is on the east side of the road. This is a hayfield. It's to the south of the entrance to the sand pits.
I'm in the wrong place then.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring up the
So the east side of the road, right across from Porter Phelps' house. I was thinking about at the intersection of Huntington Road.
No, we have conservation interest there, but it's not owned by them. This is a property owned by the land trust. That,
Okay.
as I said, there's an inholding that the Porter Phelps Museum owns.
Who did
but
you
that's
buy it
not-
from then? I guess who'd you buy it from?
I wasn't around for that, so I can't answer that question.
I think, Mike, you're right. It's the Sessions property originally.
You know, Dorothy Sessions, 70 years ago, she used to dress up at night in a white nightgown and run around so people think she was a ghost from the Porter Phelps Huntington house. Yeah, that's true. Right, Jake?
Wow.
True story.
That's funny. No one's doing that there now that I know of, at least.
Well, just beware. She's
okay. I finally
Okay.
got the map was a little slow to load.
Yeah, so we've just put a new trail on this property, and we're encouraging some more public access to it, and encouraging people to no longer park along the road there, and instead we have permission for people accessing our trails to park at the Porter Phelps Museum in their parking area. And this will just direct them across the road where we have our trails up to Mount Warner.
Any concern about the effect you're having on wildlife up there, bears and deer, especially that populate the mountain? No problem?
Not particularly. I mean, I built the trail and I'm a hunter, and every time I'm out there, there's deer tracks all over the new trail because
okay.
it's all that all the soil that we've exposed. The deer love it. I mean, they walk all along the trail. I mean, anything that you do in the woods is going to have an impact, but I
Yeah.
think I think
Just
any
curious.
yeah, nothing terribly damaging that I've seen or that I know of. I mean, it's pretty low impact and
All right, let me bring this up to clarify everything for everyone. Yeah, that's not what I want. Cancel. And share screen. And this is from the assessor's map, and that is the parcel.
Number 4 is the
Number 16.
Porter Phelps, right?
4 is Porter Phelps. And Porter Phelps also owns 3 and 5. And 9. So Porter Phelps owns this whole stretch through here. I believe
yeah, and
they also now own, they bought out the interests over here.
they did, yes. And that little cutout of the field there, that's also Porter Phelps. So it would be on this. It would be on the south side of that cutout. That's where the entrance to the field is.
So this is where you usually see people parking.
Yeah, which we're trying to discourage now, as much as we can. And we're planning on affixing to this signpost. We're planning on putting some sort of sign that's basic, just a parking across the street, and all of our online resources say don't park on the road, park across the street, just to make it a little bit safer for everybody.
Okay.
Is the trail over by 18 and 38A? That where?
Trail's on 16.
It's right by 18, Mark. It goes along that property line.
Okay.
And through there, really, it's not a trail. It's just an open field. I walk it quite a bit when there's no bugs, and there's no really set trail there.
Yeah, we've been this summer, now that this is a new position, so now we have a little bit more capacity. I've been mowing it every 2 weeks, depending on my other projects, just along the field's edge there. And then there's a loop in that property, and then there's the trail that has easements up to Mount Warner Road.
Okay. Any other comments?
So the sign would be near the northwest corner of 18?
The southwest.
Oh, okay.
Well, the sign would be right around here. That's where your trailhead is.
Yeah.
That is the northwest corner of lot 18.
Oh, 18. Oh, I'm sorry. My screen's pretty small. I can't see that well. I thought you're referring to our property. My apologies.
You're 16, so
16.
it would actually be the southwest corner of your property, I guess.
Right. Okay.
That is 131 River Drive, you said?
I believe it is. Yeah, that's what came up on the maps, at least when I looked up before the meeting. I know that Porter Phelps is 130, and so.
So the assessors do not have a number for here. Yeah, Porter Phelps is 130, and this Sessions property is 123, or the Scott property is 123.
Okay.
And the next house up here is
Tony Pip.
149. The Pips own some land in here, but it doesn't have an assigned street number.
I will just put approximately 131, given that we don't know the exact number yet, so there'll be But everybody will understand exactly where it's, roughly where it's gonna be.
Subject to verification, yeah.
Any other discussions?
No, it looks like a nice sign and it's a good use. I'm in support.
Yeah, I find those signs very attractive.
So I'll make a motion to approve the sign as shown.
Great.
Second,
You have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
I,
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Great. Thank you very much, y'all.
Good Good luck.
Thank you, Luke.
Have a nice night.
Good luck.
I believe everybody else is here for one of the public hearings, Bill. Am I correct?
Well, we have Steve Viano here.
Oh,
Might as well just clear this out. Do you? What can we do for you tonight?
you're muted, Steve. There you
Oh,
go.
yep. So we were, I was talking with Mr. Dwyer today and all, and I was able to get that, the site plan application over to him. So I went to the town clerk today and to drop it off, and I put in plans 2 weeks ago, and then I had to get that application form. So I got the form, sent it back, but though they were saying that we needed something with like the public hearing date to submit the form to the town clerk, or is that something that you guys then just tell me through what I?
You need to send the application to the planning board for because we gotta find a fee. We gotta find out what the cost is gonna be for publication.
Okay.
And with this, with electronic set of plans, we will then set the hearing date and let you know what the application fee will be.
Okay, perfect. So, Mr. Dwyer, you have everything that you need from me then right now?
No, I do not have the electronic set of plans from you. I just have the application.
Okay, I sent that over like probably an hour and a half ago, so let me make sure.
And is it premature or does he already go to the assessor's office for the list of butters?
I got that already,
Okay, okay.
and I filled out all the mailing labels.
Where are the mailing labels?
The
Town clerk?
Oh, with the clerk?
yeah, so I filled out. So the mailing labels was just having like like a letter with the
Oh,
butters.
that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, just drop those off in the planning board mailbox in town hall.
Okay, perfect.
Two sets.
Yep, got 2 sets.
Yes, I will forward this around. I do have it. It came in at 5:30.
Mhm.
So you know, we have a pretty full agenda, so we're not going to have a chance to look at it. So we're going to ask you to come back to the next meeting.
Yep.
And we will set a hearing date then.
Great.
We like to get this stuff in by the Friday prior to our meeting, so people have a chance to look at it.
Over the weekend, right?
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
And then I think everybody else is here with one of the public hearings.
Okay. Okay, with that said, we'll start off with the first public hearing, which is Mr. Simons. Read the advertisement or the legal notice as it appeared in the Gazette. The Hadley Planning Board will conduct a Zoom public hearing on Tuesday, September 19th, 2023, beginning at 6:45 p.m. Purpose of the hearing is to review the application of Nicholas Simons for special permits, home occupation and business use in Aquifer for a home occupation at 43 East Street. Said home occupation to be Live Ed Wood Products. Plans are available by emailing planning@hadleyma.org. That's going to be changed to governor, but anyways, that'll work. Or visit town clerk's office during normal business hours. Details for dial-up internet connections for Zoom will be posted on the agenda, planning board agenda when posted, published twice in the Gazette, September 8th and 12th. And with that, Mr. Simons, could tell us what you want to do?
Thank you. Nick Simmons here. Yeah, my plan is to sell live edge wood products from a Morton building that's in the back of my property, has a separate entrance. To reiterate, as written in the plan, I won't be doing any milling or carpentry or anything that causes any kind of noise pollution for the neighbors. This will be a by appointment only business. I have off-street parking. That's a separate entrance. That is not my driveway. I sent the planning board pictures of the outside of the building and the parking area. And this is a hobbyist business. I have another full-time job and a 2-year-old. So this is something that at the, apex of my business, we're looking at maybe 10 appointments a week maximum. I don't plan on having any employees. And there's some other details in my plan. I also went around to the neighbors and spoke with them about my ideas and listened to any of their concerns. I'm pretty friendly with my neighbors. I do believe in the adage that good fences make good neighbors, but so does open dialogue. So I try to be kind to them and talk to them all. And yeah, so that's basically my proposal.
Okay. Yeah, we did get several comments from butters and neighbors, and the only comment anyone had was that basically, as long as there's no milling going on, they really didn't have a problem with it. That was the biggest concern, that you'd be milling wood back there. I'm just out of curiosity, what kind of wood do you plan on carrying?
Sure. So I use all local wood, so different kinds of maples, butternut, black walnut, ash, cherry. These are usually trees taken down by the town that are not processed by wood processing facilities. And then I also give the sawdust to the local farmers for free. They use it for, the bedding for their chickens or for compost. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the business.
You do your cutting at the facility up further up on Lawrence Plain Road?
The cutting is outdoors. It's not in a building. And I do the cutting there. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dwyer, do you have the submission plan, just so we could review the?
I'll have to dig it out.
Oh, okay, well,
Let me see what I have here.
how long ago? I can find mine if we remember when it was.
Well, let's see. I think I did open a separate file for this. That would be actions, special permits, home occupation. There it is.
I don't remember any particular concerns. I just wanted to make sure I revisited it before we sign off.
There was one item I wanted the planning board's guidance on, and that was for a removable sign that points towards the driveway, because on one hand, the parking is hidden from the rest of the road, so not to cause any distress to the neighborhood, but on the other hand, it can be hard for folks to find. So what I wanted to do was put out like one of those like A-frame signs that, points towards the driveway when I set up an appointment.
Oh, so you only put the sign out when somebody's scheduled to come to see you?
Yes, sir. I would only put out the parking sign, and it would just say like Hadley Millworks and have like an arrow pointing towards a driveway.
Do you have any other roadside signs?
I have like a lawn sign right now. But that's basically for people just to contact me about those products in general. It doesn't like have my address on it or anything like that. It's like a small like lawn sign that people stick in their lawns. And I think it's placed on my property like 20 feet in. Um,
So the plan said proposed business site. Was it 64 feet by 36 feet?
the building where the Live Edge Products is stored is a Morton building that has those dimensions. Yes.
And that's existing.
Yeah.
And then there's an 8 by 12 shed.
Yeah. So when I was reading the rules, there was a line in there that I actually had emailed Mr. Dwyer for clarification about I believe it was 33% of footage of your residence, including outing buildings, or 400 square feet, or the lesser of the two. And so if the building is less than, so those are like samples of, so it's all unfinished things. So these are like products people would buy, hobbyists like carpenters and whatnot buy, and then they finish it themselves. But the building, if you count the other outing accessory buildings, the building is less than 33% of the property. But if it is in fact that I can only use 400 square feet, that's not a problem. I can have a sales area and just the rest can be storage, whatever the board feels is best.
I don't think that really offends the spirit of the bylaw, just to say that you'll do the sales in a small, in a dedicated portion. We had someone a few years ago, we just asked them to put some tape on the floor so they could mark off what part of their office was in the business district and what was not in the business district. So for a home occupation, it's not a big issue, I wouldn't think.
Okay.
That's nice looking wood. That would make a nice
It would be,
table or something like that.
Right.
call it a directional sign.
Oh yeah, the directional sign.
That looks like the sign that he has on his gate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just my general sign. But what I wanted the board's guidance on was something that I could, like, if let's say I had someone coming at 6 p.m. that was driving from, an hour and a half away. I wanted just a sign with an arrow pointing into that driveway that I could put out there for them to see. So they could, because there's plenty of space back there, but because of the arborvitaes and the gate and whatnot, it's almost like a I don't know, speakeasy slab store. It's like.
Is that gate sign visible from the road?
Well, the sign isn't there. I just put it there for the photo. But you could hypothetically see it, but what would happen is someone would drive by it. And I want to prevent people from turning in neighbors' driveways, just to try to prevent any harsh feelings towards it. So I was hoping to put a sign actually on the grass with an arrow pointing to the open gate.
Right, because the open gate is set back in the hedgerow.
So you're not gonna have, I guess I'm confused. This sign is not on the gate, it's only there temporarily.
Yeah, I just put that there for, it's not there now. I put that there to take a picture of it and ask the board permission. And if
Okay.
I'm granted permission, I'll put it back up.
So so the sign is intended to be on the gate, or is intended to be like a yard sign pointing into the, pointing in there? I would think if you put that,
I think he's talking about both.
I
Yeah,
understand.
that's correct.
But I would think if you put that sign that you just showed on the gate, that is on the gate, on the road with like a little pylon sign with an arrow pointing into the driveway, maybe you'll accomplish both and keep a permanent sign there.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever. I want to, keep it. It looks very nice there. And it has like an agricultural feel to it, with the building. So, well, whatever you guys think is best.
So in this rendering, in this photo, you can see the gate itself is barely visible. My mouse is barely visible in there, but it's the gate itself is sort of at the end of the arrow that goes with this call out and not really visible from the road as you're going by until you're on top of it.
That's one thing. If you took that little sign you had on the gate and put it in the grass in front of your arborvitae here, it'd be visible from both coming north and south on East Street. And you could put a little arrow or something that this is where you want to be, and you may be able to accomplish everything you want instead of going out there putting a sign out all the time every time somebody's going to be there.
Okay.
And still be okay.
All right. That sounds good.
I mean,
Yeah, I suppose I could, I could do that plan, and if, down the road, I could talk to the neighbors and they feel like people are turning their driveway or that kind of stuff, then I could, fill out a sign permit for something different.
the sign that you had temporarily on the gate, that's, I'm guessing, something in the realm of 1.5 by 2 feet.
Yeah, I have it's in the proposal, the exact measurement of it might be on that slide that shows the sign. There might be a caption that says how big it is.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, 18 by 24. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
And it is, so that sign would be, in the grass, as well, to signal to people to pull into that driveway.
Right.
You're talking about something like a realtor's for sale sign or a yard sale sign, something, not a permanent installation.
Yeah, basically be, I'm expecting someone at 6 o'clock. I walk out there, put the sign there. They come, they go, I put the sign back inside.
And that might be something maybe 2 foot by 4 or 6 feet.
Yeah, I was thinking of those like A-frame kind of signs. Is there a limit on a temporary sign that you can put outside to let people know to pull in?
Well, technically, you're in an ag residential zone, and a home occupation is only allowed one roadside sign.
Not to exceed 2 square feet in area.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is,
So a 2 by 2 is actually 4 square feet in area.
the 18 by 24 is like 3 square feet. Probably a smidge over. We probably should change that because 2 square feet is a pretty tiny sign, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What he's looking at is 3 square feet. So, yeah.
Right.
And this is that sign that's on there. That's a standard size sign that when one orders lawn signs, that's like the standard size that it comes in.
Yeah, I would support Jim if we wanted to increase that in the ordinance from 2 feet to 3 square feet. That seems like a reasonable size for a shingle.
I'll go all the way to 4. I like 2 by 2, not to exceed 2 by 2.
Well, the only thing, you start talking 18 and a quarter by 24 and a quarter, let's assume that's the standard size. It comes out to an oddball number. It's more than 3, less than 4, so Bill's probably right. Make it 4, but anyway, this will fall within it. Other comments, questions from the board? Looks like a nice,
Yeah,
nice,
think it's
nice,
nice.
nice project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys will have to come visit if you ever got some time for carpentry.
Mike, I got a cousin who's big into woodworking. He's retired, and if I ever see you on the side, I'll tell you all the stuff that he does, and he might be interested in buying wood from you, even if he is in Pennsylvania.
Johnny Michikowski, a former board member, is big into it, but don't let him anywhere near a saw.
I've actually given Johnny a giant slab
Wow.
because yeah, he's a good guy. But yeah, don't let him near saws. I agree.
Junior or senior or both?
I only know the senior.
Oh, okay.
Almost cut his head off about 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, he's had a few incidents with a saw.
Not nine
Anyways.
lives, Johnny.
Anyways, getting back to this. Any other comments?
Only good comments.
Mr. Dwyer, motion?
Yeah, hang on a sec, just, okay. I'll make a motion to approve the home occupation for the sale of Live Edge Wood. Upon finding the project is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the bylaw. Project is not detrimental to the established or future character of the neighborhood. Work will be as laid out on the document set submitted with the application. Directional signage as needed, not to exceed 2 by 2 feet. Supplemental conditions, the home business shall clearly be incidental and secondary to the residential purpose, only one home business per residential property. No home business will occupy more than 40% of the gross area or 400 square feet, whichever is less. One sign may be displayed at the street, not to exceed 4 square feet, not illuminated internally or externally or backlit. You are going to be offering any incidental goods for sale, like Minwax or something like that, or is this just going to be your wood?
I hadn't planned on it, but I didn't want to limit myself. But for the most part, I'm just a provider of Live Edge products.
Okay, well, the bylaw reads incidental goods may only be offered for sale from the premises if the special permit expressly permits it. Since we don't know what you might be doing, you can come back and we can amend it administratively if you do decide you want to sell that really good stain that you have to special order from Ireland or whatever.
Okay.
All goods sold must be created, produced, or manufactured on the premises or clearly incidental to the primary business purpose. Hours of client visits not earlier than 8 a.m. or later than 9 p.m. Hours of regular deliveries of products, same hours. The structure has to Okay, so, yeah, it meets setback requirements because it's been there. Was that there when you bought the property? Morton
No,
building?
sir. I had it put up about 2 years ago. It's
Okay.
Morton building.
Okay. Home business shall produce no obnoxious, toxic, or hazardous odors, no noise in excess of normal household noise, no storage or use of hazardous, toxic, flammable, or explosive materials. You said there are no employees. So client parking shall be a maximum of 2 vehicles per lot. And you have room for them to pull into your space.
Yes, sir. And there's also room for them to turn around so they don't have to back out into the street.
Okay. And you use your own vehicle to transport this material?
I do, yeah. I have a
Yep.
truck, and sometimes I'm feeling brave and I use a trailer, but usually just a pickup truck at a time.
Okay. Parking should not exceed 400 square feet, and parking should not be closer to 8 feet to any property boundary line. Any outdoor lighting shielded. Permits are non-transferable, are issued to you. Design features really are no design, no landscaping changes. Approval is subject to approval of other boards if and as required, including the Conservation Commission, the Board of Health, Select Board, Water Commissioners. Any project changes directed by other boards must be approved by the Planning Board. You're responsible for ADA compliance and fire code compliance. And that's
you
the
live
motion.
there, right?
Excuse
sorry.
me?
You do live there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my house is at 43 East Street. Chief Spankenable did visit, and I wrote it in the proposal. And he the only thing he suggested for me that he needed was emergency lighting and exit signs, which I am going to have installed. And then the other thing is he wanted a emergency lane, which in the pictures is pointed out, which isn't part of the parking. So and he was fine with that plan. In the middle picture, it's that driveway that's kind of grassy, but that would allow emergency vehicle to pull in. Whereas the cars would be on the leftmost picture, and the gravel parking to the right.
Sweetie,
Hi.
Okay.
I'm at a planning board meeting. I'll call you.
All right. That is the motion.
I muted you, Mike. You can unmute yourself now. Yeah, that's the motion.
You have a motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Very good. Good luck.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank
So
you.
here's how this works. I will get this written up and filed with the town clerk within the next week. Once it is filed, and then I will send copies of the decision to abutters. Once it is filed, there is a 21-day appeal period where anybody who doesn't like the terms of the decision may appeal it. After the appeal period has lapsed, you're fine. You can start business at your own risk prior to the expiration of the appeal period, but if someone complains, the building inspector may have to pay a call.
Okay,
I have the rest of the abutters labels in my hand, Bill. I'll drop in the town hall mail slot tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next up is the continuation of the hearing of Chase Bank on the Pyramid property.
Hello, Josh.
Good evening. How's everyone doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. So we're excited to be back. Again, Josh Klein with Stonefield Engineering and Design. We're here representing the applicant, TPG Architecture, proposing a new Chase Bank. So we've been kind of working pretty hard in the background with Tig and Bond, who's the peer reviewer, a couple back and forth, but we've really landed at a place that we felt comfortable kind of coming back in front of the board. So they conducted their peer review, both traffic peer review, as well as site civil peer review. At this time, all traffic peer review comments were addressed. They had no additional comments. And then from the site civil side, there were a few kind of items that they recommended be kind of conditioned on the approval, or kind of related to construction level items, but nothing of substance, nothing that would change kind of the application that has been in front of you and is still in front of you. And if you give me the ability to share screen, I'm happy to kind of show the plan real quick and talk about a couple of their comments. But overall, we feel like we've come a long way, and we're kind of happy to be back in front of the board.
Okay, go ahead.
Perfect. So this was the kind of the color exhibit that we presented at the last meeting. It was just a colorized version of the site plan. And again, you know, what I was just going to kind of highlight, these were the plans, the latest plans that were reviewed and submitted by the peer reviewer. You know, building, design, nothing changes. One of the recommendations of the peer reviewer, which we didn't disagree with, was kind of making this a kind of in and out driveway versus just an out driveway, which makes sense because it kind of allows someone that comes in to go right to the ATM. So we didn't feel we felt it was a good suggestion. They had us kind of locate kind of strategically some snow storage areas. That's where you're seeing these hatch boxes. We did kind of update our stormwater analysis, which they kind of fully agree with. We provided some additional geotechnical data. So I thought I would just show the difference between the two to show that, you know, again, no substantial changes were made to the layout, even from what you guys have seen kind of throughout the last, you know, six or so months. You know, I'm happy to go into any of the comments or details further. You know, again, I think if the board were conditioned that, you know, any of the recommendations made from the peer reviewers, you know, had to be met, we'd have no issue with it. You know, one of them, for example, was just conducting a few additional test pits prior to construction, which is pretty common for stormwater. As you know, as we get a little bit closer, we'd have an excavator already out on site, and we just want to confirm, you know, the soils make sense for our detention system. But other than that, you know, we're happy to kind of, you know, hopefully be near the finish line of the project.
So which is the correct drawing? The colorized one in front of us, or the one you just showed?
So this is the one I have up here is the latest. Again, the only difference being
In and
this
out.
driveway striping, and we're showing snow storage on this plan. Everything else is the same as the colored one. Like the landscaping's the same. So I'm happy I can keep this up, but that was really the big item, was this driveway. And I can even show you when I go back to it. If you look, we had it kind of shown as an out egress only, left or right. And kind of in working with them, you know, our traffic team as well as their traffic team, you know, given that this is internal to a shopping center, we felt that kind of a typical movement is probably the best given customer experience.
Does the fire department seen this plan to put their 2 cents on it?
So the fire department has seen this plan, which we were able to show both a truck circulating through the site, and then at the request of the fire department, which is it's not a very typical item, we did show that the fire truck could circulate around the drive-through, which is an added bonus to be able to kind of fit that size vehicle through it. So, again, we're happy to resend the plan to them, but in terms of emergency circulation, we have run the truck, the town specific truck, both through the parking lot as well as through the drive-through as requested.
Okay.
And that was done many months ago, early on in the process. We always want to get that done early.
Lighting and signage?
So lighting, they reviewed and didn't have any kind of comments on. We both are kind of showing, downward facing LED shielded light fixtures. We do have to meet kind of security lighting standards at the ATM as well as at the vestibule. Now signage, the current plan that we've received from Chase's signage team, does call out a signage variance. Our office does not handle kind of the, has not at this time kind of is handling the signage aspect of the project. The signage information we received is there'd be kind of a wall sign at each facade, as well as a monument sign, which you can kind of see is kind of shown on the color rendering. You can kind of see it in the corner. Our understanding is the monument sign would require relief because there's already a monument sign that exists for the shopping center as a whole, even though this is kind of specific to the Chase parcel or kind of a lease pad. And then again, our interpretation is, each tenant would be permitted one wall sign. And again, Chase was looking to put a wall sign on each facade of the building.
Okay, so what is your signage that you're applying for? Or is that going to come back? Because we will not approve more than 1/64th or 64th. You're allowed multiple signs on the building, provided the total of the signs does not exceed 64 square feet. And they have to be externally illuminated. If you're going for a variance, I personally will go to the ZBA and speak against it. And the ZBA pretty much listens to the planning board and agreed with us because you don't have a hardship. You do not qualify for a hardship on any kind of a variance for this parcel.
So again, I think, I'm here tonight, and I think the goal would be if Chase decides to move forward with variances for signage, the team would have to come back. I think our goal would be to get the approval tonight for the signage that would be in compliance with the town requirements. So it would meet in terms of illumination as well as size.
We would need to give you a approval of your sign tonight. We would need to see what it looks like with dimensions. If you don't have that, we can approve the site plan without any signage, and you'll need to come back for signage.
I think that would be the best approach, because it gives us an opportunity to have Chase's sign vendors prepare a nice formal sign package that I can present to. These meetings are virtual. It's easy for me to come back and gives them time to do it. I think the latter is the best approach.
We would give you approval tonight without any signs, building or pylon signs.
Understood.
Okay. Because we have gone, just a little bit of history here. We're not trying to be mean. Don't take it that way. I'm not trying to be a wise guy here. But we have gone to town. We need town meeting approval to change the zone bylaw. We have gone to town meeting to change the zone bylaw to allow different signs for certain parcels based on size, setback, etc. And we have been turned down every single time. Most of the time, we don't even receive a majority. And in the state of Mass, we need a 2/3 majority to pass the zone bylaw change. And we have almost never even received a majority. So the townspeople are pretty vocal that they don't want to change the size of signs in town. So that's
understood.
That's why we're so hard-nosed about compliance and everything else.
No, understood, and I'm very familiar, so I'll definitely, relay it to the team, and, again, as noted tonight, we would really be seeking the approval without any of the signage.
Okay. Meanwhile, enough said with that. Other comments on the board? Questions?
Another aside comment. I mean, you've gone through a tremendous amount of work and you've done a commendable job, but there's a vacant bank right across the street. You could have got that practically for nothing. I know Chase does have a few cents in their background, but why? Because of visibility? People have been asking me that. I said it's probably because of visibility. Is that the real reason?
I wish I was privy to that. My job is just to come in and do the engineering and get a safe project.
You're supposed to be a salesman too, not just an engineer.
So
Depends on what, when I need to sell something, but that I don't want to get into that mess.
So I have two things. One, I'd like to, if you could, Josh, put up the tie-in bond, the cleanest version, and we could just do a quick run through that to be sure that we did hit everything. And secondly, I do want, oh, that's not too bad. I do want to just go over the transfer of development rights calculations.
Perfect. So this is, I'll just start with this letter because it's the cleanest. This is the traffic peer review number 2. Kind of as noted, if you look through all of T&B's responses, or the comments have been addressed. I don't mean to move quickly, but these have all been addressed, all pretty minor in nature anyways. You can kind of see the snow storage comment, etc.
Okay.
This letter here, again, Tig and Bond does their letters where they make a comment, they add our response, and then they add their response. So the letters always get longer. I wish they would just delete the old ones, but it's just not how they do it. So again, a few of these, items were basically kind of acknowledgements, or, they reviewed what was available to them. So kind of skimming through, they noted about the coverage, that, again, that we're requesting that kind of relief, or we're requesting the development rights. We talked about the off-street parking. They basically trusted our information, but they didn't have access to all the previous approvals associated with the shopping center. Signage, they did kind of note that we highlighted where the signs were located, but I think we can skip signage. We're not here tonight for that approval. So again, 4, 5 were all signage comments. 6, again, another signage comment. 7 was just sending them a final sign and sealed plan, which we have no issue doing. Let's see, 8 was addressed. Sorry to go move. So 9, again, the only thing they were asking for was information on the signage, which we're not here tonight for, but we did provide them color elevations. 10, 11 are just acknowledgements. 12, they kind of noted about separation from seasonal high groundwater. We did provide them soil borings, which showed kind of the 7-foot separation. They did ask, this is one where they asked if the board wanted to clarify if the stormwater management facilities were excluded, under this requirement. This is related to groundwater separation. Our excavations 6.75 feet separated from groundwater. Again, based on our work in town, we didn't see this as an issue because we have proper separation. I don't know if this has come up in the past about excavations to a certain depth near groundwater.
I don't recall that it has outside of, let's see, is this in the Aquifer Protection District?
It is, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So it just talked about like things that are permitted, that you can, and again, freshwater ponds, things, stormwater, our understanding, and I did work on the project across the street, like stormwater management facilities are acceptable underground measure in this zone. I didn't see anything to the contrary.
Yeah, I think that. Okay,
13 was addressed. 14 was just a minor discrepancy. I think we showed 161, 6 to 8, where it was it just needs to be changed by 1/10 of a foot. It was more of a detail on the stormwater plan. Again, not a big issue, more of just a kind of a clarity on the plan. 15 was just conditioning that we have to provide proper cover on our pipes. All of our pipes have that proper cover. And then 16 had been addressed. So there was a question on the groundwater was one of the items. You know, pipe installation is done in accordance with manufacturer requirements. The board would like to condition on that. It's not an issue. We can comply. And then getting them a final signed and sealed version of the plans.
okay, and then could we take a look at your TDR calculations?
Yes, let me check to see if I have the final version.
And I did update the TDR target. I think I just sent it to Jim.
Yes.
We had 4 transactions in the last 36 months. And the average price per acre was $12,271.97.
Yeah, so I have that. So it would be. And we can send the formal calc, but just for reference. I mean, it would be, the request would be for 0.07 acres. And that would bring us down to the existing coverage requirement. So I kind of have the table up so you can see existing, we're at existing sites currently at 20.5%. We have an increase in building coverage that brings us to 20.6%. So if we were to just apply it to bring us back down to existing, it'd be 0.07 acres. And if we were to have it applied to bringing it down to the 20%, it would be 600. It would be 0.36 acres. So I think our interpretation was it was just to bring it down to the existing level of coverage. So I think we can, I guess what we could do is based on these new the new number that we have, I think, Bill, we can provide you with like a formal sheet to include for the town's record.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just looking up the calculation here. What is?
So 0.07 acres times the $12,271.97 would be a fee of $859.
Yeah, but only problem is we don't deal in fraction of an acre and less than 1 acre.
Got it. So then if they would have to purchase the full acre, that would be the 12,000.
In other words, if you wanted to do like minimum purchases, what we've been dealing, minimum purchase is 1 acre. You can do like 1.3 acres or 2.3 or 2.4, but never less than 1.
Okay. Well, then the fee would round whatever it would round it to that minimum 1 acre fee of $12,271.97.
Right.
just to decide to the rest of the members of the board and see how simple that was to get the TDR. We have the numbers in front of us, almost non-negotiable. It would be wonderful if we could have something that clear for the affordable housing.
Lou,
So, but that's just an aside, just to, that's,
Something to think about.
yeah, something to think about. And I know I've received tepid response from the rest of the board, but this is a good example of how it can work smoothly.
Yeah.
And for the young gentleman who's making the presentation, very thorough.
Good job.
Yeah, excellent job. By the way, you are an engineer. What's your background? Did he disappear?
No, he's there, Josh.
No, I'm here. I've been with Stonefield Engineering for about 10 years. I did work with WS Development for a little bit as well. So I assisted on the Yellow Beam project across the street. So, but a very experienced site civil and traffic engineer. We're excited to be, kind of continuing to grow in this market.
So you are a degreed engineer of some sort.
Correct. I'm a licensed professional engineer. I'm licensed in over 6 states. I forget the exact number right now. And I probably have done, in the last year, over 100 presentations in front of boards kind of across the Northeast. So very well versed in this type of work.
Education background?
No,
University of Vermont.
No, but this is just, go ahead. Engineering background where?
University of Vermont.
I have a civil engineering degree from University of Vermont.
Oh.
But we're big supporters of UMass. I know as you're kind of a local school, we have 3 engineers in my office that are UMass grads.
Did you play football at Vermont? That's a joke.
Just for your information, you got a diverse board on here. Joe Z's a retired doctor. I'm a retired engineer. Mr. Dwyer is an attorney. Mark Dunn's an architect, and Mike Sarzinski is a financial analyst.
Wow.
But we're all soldiers.
Okay. So we're ready to make some magic happen here. I'll make a motion to approve the project. What's the official name of the bank?
So it's a proposed bank with drive-through would be the use.
Yeah, but what is the corporate name?
It would be a JP Morgan Chase.
Okay. Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the application for site plan approval and to approve the application for business use in the aquifer special permit and farmland preservation law special permit based upon the following findings. The project is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the bylaw. Project is not detrimental to the future established or future character of the neighborhood. The intended uses are not prohibited by the terms of the bylaw and are permitted thereby. Work will be conducted in accordance with the plans as submitted. And did you send me a copy of the most recent plan that you, or what is the date? What's the revision date of the latest plan that you showed us?
It is dated 8/7/2023 and it's revision 3. And I'll make sure I get you a link with kind of all the items submitted to the peer reviewer if you don't have them, or if they weren't previously sent.
And that's got the in and out at the southwest curb cut.
Correct.
So everything will be based on the the 8/7/2023 plans and other supplemental material. I don't think you ended up asking for any waivers of anything.
Not yet.
And we're going to just put a condition that you'll follow Ty and Bond's recommendations for the construction phase. Installing things according to the manufacturer's suggestions. And the following conditions, the design features are including but not limited to landscaping, drainage design, exterior colors, doors and windows are considered to be an integral part of the design. Any deviation from the plans as presented to and approved by this board will be considered a violation of the terms of the site plan approval. The approval is for the following uses only: Chase Bank branch with drive-through. No sign detail has been provided. Sign detail is required. Is one of the required site plan contents. We will consider approval of the application without such information on the condition that all signage must comply with the zoning bylaw and also be approved by the planning board before installation. Landscaping installed, maintained, and replaced per the reference plan. Any outdoor lighting should be shielded, does not prevent a strong direct light. No storage trailers, containers, shipping containers, temporary or permanent storage structures, or other storage facilities not depicted on the plan are allowed under any circumstances. This approval does not excuse the project from compliance with any other provisions of the Hadley zoning bylaw not specifically addressed herein. This approval is limited to zoning issues and is subject to approval of other boards if and as required, including but not limited to the Conservation Commission, Building Commissioner, Inspection Services, Public Safety, DPW, Board of Health, Water Commissioners Select Board, and state agencies. Any project changes directed by other boards must be approved by the planning board. Prior to application for any town issue permits, applicants, contractors will participate in a pre-construction conference with the project coordination group. One set of approved plans maintained on site during construction for the exclusive use of the zoning enforcement officer. Project to be reviewed for compliance by a consultant on behalf of the planning board at the sole cost and expense of the applicant. Required front yard set, and no, that's not going to be an issue. And this site plan approval should not be effective until the notice of decision is affixed to the original site plan. The applicant's engineer certifies the conditions set forth herein are noted and incorporated into the site plan. The original is signed by the planning board chair or clerk, and copies of the signed original are filed with the planning board and the building inspector. Special permits. Special permit granted to Chase Bank, a proposed tenant of Hampshire Mall, to operate in the Aquifer District. Site plan shows drainage recharge, features and provisions to prevent loss of recharge, provisions to control soil erosion, and other as required by the bylaw. Because the site is located in the Aquifer Protection District, approval is specific to each tenant. This approval is as to Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase only. Further review is required as specific tenants are identified and as our tenants change. Farmland preservation bylaw. The purposes of this bylaw are met by payment into a fund which will permanently protect farmland and agricultural soils in the town of Hadley. Project is in the receiving district. Special permit from the planning board is required. Planning board hereby grants a special permit for increased density. And the applicant proposes to make a cash contribution to the town to be used for purposes of purchasing APR. The payment required to secure additional density is $12,271.97. And that's it.
That is the motion.
yes,
Do we have a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We can't round off those 97 cents.
Well, I
Bylaw
just put
calls
down-
for the bylaw calls for the average.
Okay.
Okay. Hearing no other questions or comments, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Very good.
Thank you for your design tenacity.
Thank you. No, really appreciate everyone's time, and we'll get working on the signage and looking forward to get this project moving.
Okay, very good.
Do you have any
All right,
estimates
you.
on
Thank you.
when it would be bid to a contractor and looking to start construction?
Yeah, I think I know they want to move very quickly, and winter's probably the concern here, fast approaching. So I believe if all goes well contractually, I'm sure they would love to be starting this in 2024, coming out of winter.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Josh.
Mr. William Mahoney, are you here for, he's gone, okay.
Yep, he's the rental manager for the mall.
Okay. We do have an invoice to pay for the Daily Hampshire Gazette. $417.10 for the legal notice for the Simon's legal notice that we just conducted today. Motion to pay.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Other business, Mr. Dwyer?
I have nothing else. I guess we let me just double check the agenda. I think I had put that other solar project.
Yeah, he didn't show up. Yeah, Alan Peterfrund?
Yes.
Yeah, 14 Hockenham.
So that, since that was administrative review only, I am I don't think we have to make a motion to continue it. We'll just deal with them when they show up. I'll put them on the agenda for the next
Okay. The October, was it October 3rd?
3rd, I think.
October 3rd.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it's no biggie.
I have nothing else. Anybody have anything?
Negative.
I have nothing else.
Anything, Mr. Quinlan? You're good? How about Ms. Mrs. Quinlan?
This is DeBrindisi.
Never let her talk.
Bill, I will reach out to that Nicole that was supposed to be on for the signs.
Okay, yes, we had a sign contractor who wanted to get approval for 2 signs, and I told her she could attend the meeting. And I sent her a copy of the agenda.
Okay.
Yes. So, like I said, they told me that right now they moved it according to Mass DOT, what they told them to do. But I told them that's not always the case. They did remove the other sign that is in regards to, they have not put that one back up yet. So I will make sure that they get on the board before they try to erect this other one.
And I used to tell people we don't have zoning police, but now we do.
And speaking of Nicole, we did not address the 2 extra lots up north The proponents were not here tonight for that, right?
They did not, they may be adopting other plans.
Okay,
So, but anyway, no, they're not here. They're intentionally not here.
okay.
And we are not being asked to do anything.
Great.
And we didn't talk about it. Okay.
We didn't talk about it.
Very good.
I'm going to Bogota, Thursday, just for about 6 days. If anybody wants emeralds, you can get them at 15-20% of what you pay for them here, okay? They mine them there.
Do you swallow them to import them?
You don't need them, you don't need it. You just carry them out.
Keep smiling, Mike.
Nice studs, nice, you know, Jimmy Maximowski, his girlfriend that runs the stand there. We got her a few pieces and she loves them. Vanna. So just, not this time, but I'm available as a courier.
I'll see you in a few minutes. We'll talk about it.
Okay,
Hey, motion to adjourn.
bye-bye.
So moved.
Moved in second. All in
Bye-bye.
favor? Aye.
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 Aye. Take me.